The Two Wives, a story of loyalty, pride, and redemption. In a small, peaceful village, there lived a man named Daniel, a man of quiet strength and humble demeanor. Known throughout the town for his hard work and gentle nature, Daniel was a man who believed in the simple yet profound truths of life: love, loyalty, and fairness. His life seemed perfect, blessed with a good job, a beautiful home, and two wives, Ruth and Amara. Ruth, his first wife, was the picture of virtue. She was kind, patient, and respectful. The kind of woman who found joy in the little things, the way the sun would warm the morning air, the sound of children's laughter, and the simple act of caring for her husband. Ruth was not only a devoted wife, but a woman of deep faith. Her heart was full of love, and she gave that love freely to Daniel, always standing by his side, no matter the circumstances. Amara, on the other hand, was a stark contrast. She was beautiful, radiantly so, and she knew it. She was proud, vain, and often dismissive of the simple, quiet life that Ruth cherished. Amara had little patience for the things that mattered most to Daniel: honesty, respect, and love. Instead, she lived for the thrill of fleeting pleasures, constantly seeking admiration and validation from others. Though Daniel tried his best to balance his love for both wives, the differences in their personalities created a rift that only grew over time. Amara's beauty caught the eyes of many, but it was her pride and unfaithfulness that pushed Daniel further away. She would ridicule Ruth, calling her the old-fashioned wife, as though her quiet devotion was something to be ashamed of. At times, Amara's insults would sting Daniel's heart, but he remained committed to his responsibilities as a husband. He provided for both of them, trying his best to love them equally. But his efforts seemed to go unnoticed by Amara. For Ruth, things were different. Though she felt the tension in their home, she never let it cloud her devotion. Ruth quietly prayed, asking for peace in their home and the strength to endure. Her love for Daniel wasn't based on external circumstances. It was rooted in the deep, unshakable commitment she had made before God and before him. While Amara sought pleasure in external validation, Ruth found fulfillment in being a loving, faithful wife. Her strength came from within, and she chose peace over conflict, understanding that her devotion would eventually be her greatest asset. Years passed, and the tides of life began to shift in unexpected ways. Daniel, once a prosperous businessman, faced the greatest challenge of his life. A sudden illness struck him, one that left him weak and bedridden for months. His once thriving business began to fail, and soon he had nothing left. He found himself a shadow of the man he once was, his body frail, his business in ruins, and his spirit faltering. Through it all, Ruth remained by his side. She cared for him tirelessly, nursing him back to health and helping him rebuild their life. Even though their wealth had vanished, Ruth never wavered in her love for Daniel. She didn't see his financial loss as a loss of his worth. To her, Daniel was still the same man she had married, kind, hardworking, and deserving of her love and care. Ruth's strength, though not outwardly apparent, became the foundation upon which Daniel could rebuild. But Amara, seeing only Daniel's downfall, saw no reason to stay. She had always been drawn to wealth and status, and when those things slipped through Daniel's fingers, she didn't hesitate to leave. She followed another man, one who promised her the luxury and excitement she craved. She traded her marriage vows for the fleeting allure of wealth, convinced that it would bring her the happiness she longed for. What Amara didn't realize, however, was that the man she followed was as shallow as the riches he promised. His promises of wealth and comfort turned out to be empty, and soon Amara found herself abandoned, with nothing but regret and shame to accompany her. The man who had once seemed like her ticket to a better life discarded her when he no longer had any use for her. With nothing left, Amara found herself standing at the doorstep of Daniel's house, broken and alone. She was desperate, having nowhere else to turn. When she stepped inside, she was met with an unexpected sight. Daniel, restored to health, his business thriving once again. His life had bounced back, and he was happy once more, surrounded by Ruth and their children, who were all thriving in the warmth of the home Ruth had so lovingly nurtured. Amara fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face as she realized what she had lost. She had abandoned a man who, despite his struggles, had loved her unconditionally, and in the process, she had lost the one thing that truly mattered, true love. "I didn't know your love was my blessing until I lost it," Amara cried, her voice breaking with the weight of regret. Daniel, ever the man of grace and forgiveness, helped her to her feet. He forgave her, as he had forgiven so many times before. But things were never the same. Ruth had remained by his side through thick and thin, her love for him steady and unwavering. Her faithfulness had earned her peace, happiness, and a place of honor in his life, while Amara's pride and unfaithfulness had left her with only bitterness and regret. Amara, having seen the fruits of Ruth's loyalty and devotion, left once more, but not without understanding the lesson she had learned too late. For Ruth, her love for Daniel was not based on his wealth or status, but on something deeper, something that could never be taken away. The lesson here is clear. A faithful heart brings lasting joy, but pride and unfaithfulness destroy the beauty of love. Loyalty and devotion may not always be celebrated in the world, but they are the foundation upon which lasting happiness is built. In a world where things are fleeting and external beauty fades, it is the quiet, steadfast love of a loyal heart that endures. This story is not just for those who are married, but for anyone who has ever experienced love, loss, and the painful realization that true love is not always recognized when it's right in front of us. It is a reminder to value those who stand by us in times of trouble, those who love us not for what we can give them, but for who we are. Before it's too late, recognize the blessings in your life and hold on to the love that is real and pure. So, let this be a lesson to us all. Cherish the ones who love you faithfully, for their love is not bound by the circumstances of life. It is a treasure that will last long after fleeting pleasures fade away. If this story resonates with you, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that teach powerful life lessons. What are your thoughts on this tale of love, pride, and redemption? Have you ever experienced the power of loyalty in your own life? Leave a comment below, and let's keep the conversation going.